Hello guys and welcome to my BFA pre-patch guide for the Windwalker Monk. My name is Squiggle and today I'm going to be talking you guys through how to do the maximum DPS at the moment as a Windwalker in the pre-patch. Now just a current disclaimer about this vid, this is actually going to look a little bit different from what we are going to be doing in BFA because the legendary cloak is just doing way too much damage for us right now. Along with the good karma talent, it is doing anywhere upwards of 20% of our damage on an individual pull. So take this with a large grain of salt going into the next expansion, but for this video I can say that it is going to be a lot about cheese and maximizing the damage that you are getting from the cape. Throughout this guide I'm going to be going over the legendaries, talents, stats, opener, rotation, and trinkets that you want to be running on the Windwalker Monk for the BFA pre-patch. So without further ado, here's my guide and enjoy. So first up, we're going to be having a look at our best in-slot legendaries for the pre-patch. So we are going to see that the helmet and the cloak are going to be simming the best for us, despite the removal of the Strike of the Windlord artifact ability. Now the reason for this is the helmet gives you another 3% damage onto all of your abilities, and 3% extra to the cloak, and the whole karma cheese thing is actually quite significant, on top of the fact that the helmet gives quite good stats as well. Next up, we're going to be seeing that for the talents, they are pretty much the same, apart from the first tier, which I will get into after. Next up for the legendaries, we are going to see that the boots are going to be our third best in slot. If you do not feel comfortable doing the whole cloak cheese thing, then the boots might be good for you. On top of this, if you do have a tier cape and you do not have a tier chest because of your previous setup, then the boots might even be simming better for you for the moment. After this, we are going to be seeing that Pride and helmet are pretty good, but you're looking at about a 2% plus fall off from here, so I don't recommend going any further than that. However, one thing that I might add is that Pride is pretty good for your survivability, and boots are pretty good for AoE situations. So if you are doing Mythic Plus, then I might recommend a mix of the helmet, boots, or the Pride for these sort of situations. And of course, as you can see with these sets, there is no point really going the tier 22 set. This is pretty much negligible at this point. So this means that you don't have to be going back to Tomb of Sargeras in order to farm these pieces for the Windwalker. Next up, for our talent setup. Now, if we are looking at it purely from a single target point of view, I do recommend you guys start using the Chi Burst talent. Now, at the moment, it looks like Chi Wave and Eye of the Tiger do sim slightly better on hero damage. However, I've been seeing that most of the top logs are using Chi Burst, and of course it gets even stronger on multi-target. Now the main thing that makes Chi Burst pretty good at the moment is the fact that it gives you between 1 and 2 Chi depending on how many targets you hit. So if you're using it in a fight like Gorothi or Argus, you even have times where you can generate 2 Chi off it and get double the damage out of it. So overall it is a pretty good talent and it allows you to reset your hit combo. Next up, I prefer using Chi Torpedo. A lot of people do like using Tiger's Lust, but I'm just very nice and used to Chi Torpedo. In the third line, we see that Fist of the White Tiger is going to be our best single target talent as predicted. Now, Energizing Elixir did get nerfed, however I think Energizing Elixir and Ascension might actually become better for us in Mythic Plus in the long run. Next up, this is going to be our tier 60 talent. Now, for single target and just general DPS, we are going to be going with good karma along with the back. Now, if you are doing Mythic Plus and you are not running the back, I recommend that you guys start running Ring of Peace. However, if you are trying to go for the maximum damage passes, it is imperative that you use good karma, as it pretty much doubles the damage out of your touch of karmas. After this, I like running Diffuse Magic for most fights in Antorus, simply because it means that I can mitigate the maximum amount of magic damage. However, there are certain situations where I do go Dampen Harm, for example on Gorothi when more of the damage is physical. So for our tier 90 talent, we are going to see that Invoke Xuan is going to be our best talent out of the 3. This is going to be our best for 1 to 4 target burst pretty much, and if you are looking at any logs, they're pretty much all using Invoke Xuan. I will also say that Rushing Jade Wind is currently looking really good for Mythic Plus. However, I will say that it is quite annoying and boring to play with. You can't use your energy too much or it's pretty much just going to fall off. Last but not least, we have the tier 100 tree. We are seeing that Whirling Dragon Punch is doing the best for us. So it's pretty much what we've been seeing for the whole of Legion. Some people have been saying that Serenity is looking pretty good. However, as far as sims and logs go, Serenity is completely being blown out of the water right now. And on top of this, Whirling Dragon Punch is also good AoE. So just like Chi Burst, if you ever have 2 target burst or 3 target burst, this is going to be an even better talent. For our stats, we are going to be seeing that Versatility is going to be our main stat. This comes to no surprise, and of course it does mean that you have to use the Sugar Crusted Feast if you are going for the maximum damage output. After this, we are going to see that Agility is going to be not too far behind it, and it is going to be our second strongest stat. Now, you basically want to be going for a lot of Versatility and Agility, and the other stats really aren't that great. And of course, as you can see, Critical Strike, Mastery, and Haste are all slightly devalued compared to what they used to be. And this pretty much puts in a rule of thumb that you want no Mastery or no Haste on your gear, and you want to be stacking your Versatility and Critical Strike as high as possible. Next up, we want to be looking at the trinkets that we can be running. So Seeping Scourgewing is currently destroying at the moment for pretty much every single melee class. It is completely overtuned. It even has a nice chunk of versatility on it, so it makes it even better for the monk. Now after this, we're going to see that the Golgoneths is really good as well. If you have a 280 Golgoneths, you want to have it equipped all the time. And I'm going to put in an honorable mention to the Umbral Moonglaves and the Fire Mine trinket from Kingaroth. Now, both of these trinkets are pretty good single target, but they are excellent for more than one target. And of course, the Seeping Scourgewing is going to be doing less damage if you have more than 2 targets within 8 yards around you. So, of course, as you can see with our gearing process, this means that you guys need to be farming a lot of Earnut and a lot of Varimathras if you want to be doing a good amount of damage on your Windwalker Monk. Simply because we never used to use the chest before, the tier chest, and we never used to use the Seeping Scourgewing before as well. So if you want to be pumping in the next 3 weeks, these are the 2 items that you really want to be on the lookout for. For our opener, we're going to start off with a Chi Burst before the pull, into a roll, into a Fist of the White Tiger. After this, you're going to use your Zhuen, into your Touch of Death, into your Storm Earth and Fire. Once you've got these cooldowns out of the way, you want to be using your Rising Sun kick, into a Blackout kick, into a Fist of Fury. Once you've finished the Fist of Fury, make sure you are doing your Whirling Dragon Punch, and then finishing up with a Tiger Palm into another Rising Sun kick. Of course, if you want to maximize your damage, make sure that you're using your Touch of Karma in your Touch of Death window. And one trick that you can experiment a little bit with is using your Taunt in this window. Of course, your other tank needs to make sure that they are taunting straight after you take 1 melee hit, otherwise you are simply just going to die. After this, the rest of our rotation pretty much revolves around a simple priority. You want to make sure that you are keeping your Fist of the White Tiger and your Rising Sun kick on cooldown as much as possible. You are keeping your Fist of Fury on cooldown, and you are keeping your Chi Burst on cooldown. Now of course, if you're keeping your Rising Sun kick and Fist of Fury on cooldown, it means that you're going to get the maximum amount of Whirling Dragon Punches out in a fight as you can. Last but not least, I'm going to be talking about a simple AoE setup that you guys can go for. Now, I recommend running Rushing Jade Wind in Mythic Plus, and I recommend that you guys play around with this a little bit. It is a little bit tedious to get used to. However, if you get used to the energy cost that it gives, it does do fantastic damage to sustain cleave. On top of this, I do recommend trying out Energizing Elixir and Ascension and seeing how they work for you. After this, for our legendaries for Mythic Plus, I recommend playing around with the Helmet, the boots, and the Pride as legendaries. And of course, for AoE trinkets, I recommend using the Umbral Moonglaves or the Fire Mines trinket from Kingaroth. Now that just about wraps up my video for the Windwalker Monk in the BFA pre-patch. Now one thing I am going to add is that most of this damage min-maxing is going to be just around your good karma and your cape min-maxing. So make sure that you're maximizing the damage you are getting from your touch of karma. Of course, make sure that you don't die in the process, otherwise that does result in a DPS loss. If you like this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And of course, if you guys have any questions, I am all ears, and feel free to leave me any comments in the comment section below, or feel free to hit me up on Twitch if I am live. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.